Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
How was the drive over?
It was good. A little bit of traffic, but not bad.
Yeah. And you look so much bigger. You're in the third trimester now.
I'm getting towards the end, so.
Yeah. Is excitement settling in? You kind of nervous?
A little bit. Mostly excited, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are y'all prepared?
Somewhat. Still getting the nursery ready and all of that, but getting there.
Oh my gosh, exciting. Cool. Well, thanks for coming in. As you know, this is Dietitians on Demand. I'm Celia. I met with you in the second trimester, so I'll still be your dietitian throughout the rest of the few sessions that we've got, okay? Awesome. So the last time you came in, it was your first time visiting us, and man, you mentioned just wanting to improve your diet quality now that you're pregnant, right?
Right.
Yeah. So are you feeling the same way about everything we talked about the last visit, or sort of how has that been going for you since we talked?
I'm just trying to be more aware, I guess, of what I'm eating, just improving things overall. I've never really tracked what I'm eating before, so I guess just being pregnant and just kind of wanting to make sure that I'm getting the right things in me for the baby. So.
It's different, I bet, right?
Yeah, it's different having somebody else to consider when you're eating like a bunch of cupcakes or something like that.
Absolutely. Right. So when you first came in, you mentioned that you had never really changed your diet before. You've always been relatively healthy, active, a small person, and now you have this little person inside of you, and you want to be more aware, correct?
Yes.
Cool. So we talked about My Plate the last time you were in, and I explained all the different food groups to you, and it was your first time hearing a lot of that, right? And then our main goal from the first session was that you would just become aware of your diet, that you would start tracking your foods throughout the week. So how was using the tracker for you? You were using MyFitnessPal. How did that go for the second trimester while you were assessing your foods?
It was good. I'm just having to remind myself each day to actually go on there and track it. I was I didn't really know all of like the different macros or whatever they call them. So that was like interesting to see. I guess I was surprised I was like often going over my limits for like things that I normally wouldn't think about. So
really,
I guess I've just been trying to learn about like those things, I guess.
Right. So which macronutrients were you surprised by the most? Because we discussed macros were protein, carbohydrates, fat, and then your total energy is your caloric intake for the day, right? And then the macronutrients would be the small vitamins and minerals. Were you mainly focused on the amounts for your macros?
Yeah, and like sugar and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that falls into carbs.
Yeah, sugars is going to be under carbohydrates, but there are differences in like added sugars and your general whole grains and carbohydrates and things like that.
Okay, yeah. So I was noticing protein was like harder for me to hit every day, and like I would go over and like my sugar intake, and like a lot of things have more carbs in them than like what I realized. So yeah, I guess those things for the most part
were interesting to you.
Yeah.
And so do you feel like tracking with the app caused you to change your eating habits at all?
Yeah, like I was definitely, it made me more aware, and I tried to meet them. I guess I just don't know like things to substitute because I have like my normal routine of like eating, so I just like trying to figure out stuff that has like less of certain things and more protein or that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So what you're saying is you have these levels in mind, and as you're eating your normal foods throughout the day, they didn't line up to the goals that the app was setting for you, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and so finding substitutions was a little difficult in certain areas, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. And how confident did you feel using the app on a scale of 1 to 10? Was it easy to remember to come back to it each day, or was this change, this goal that we decided on at the last session, was that a little difficult for you?
I would say it was pretty easy because, I mean, if I forgot, like, in the morning, I could just, go log it, like, later on in the day. So that wasn't that big of a deal. I guess some of it though, I was just like making sure that what they had in the system was like consistent with like the labels on the boxes and things like that, because I wasn't always like for sure of all like their data, I guess. But for the most part, I mean, 1 to 10, with like 10 being easy, I would say it was like an 8.
Okay, very cool. So a relatively easy change to make. And so you described not knowing the difference between whether the foods were legitimate on the app versus the actual food item. And I wanted to let you know, I believe we touched on this in the first counseling session, but MyFitnessPal is not necessarily a verified tracker. People in the community or individuals can just freely add items on there, so that can make it a little confusing. And if you would like to use the USDA Super Tracker, I will write that on one of these forms for you. And that is, it's a certified tracker that the government provides, and so there are actual foods and verified amounts on this super tracker. Now, there's not an app for it, so you might need to have a laptop, or at the end of the day, log on a computer, and you can verify certain items that you weren't sure about through the USDA super tracker. Okay? So I can help you use that at the end of the session too if you'd like. But that would be a really cool way to verify the foods that you're eating. So awesome. Well, I'm glad that we were able to hammer out any issues with the app so far. It seems like you have a pretty good understanding of how to use it, how to track. And I was thinking for this session, if you're interested, we could move into more specific areas that were a struggle for you. Specifically, if you found it hard to reach certain amounts, you said you didn't have as much protein as you needed throughout the day, and we can find little substitutions to fit those values. Or if there's a specific food group that you can tell, you know, your vitamins and minerals are low, or it looks like you're not getting half the amount of fruits and vegetables on your plate each day. Those are some goals that we could try to tackle in this counseling session. Okay. Sound good? Very cool. All right, well, I have a good idea of your eating habits, but what I would like to do is conduct a quick 24-hour recall just to get an idea of what you're eating regularly throughout the week. Would you say that yesterday it was a weekday? Was that a typical day of food that you would normally have yesterday, or did anything?
Yeah, I guess just lately I haven't been like as hungry as I had been earlier on in like the pregnancy, so I don't have as much of an appetite, but I still definitely am trying to get my 3 meals in and occasional like snacks.
Sure.
So you want me to go ahead and start with like breakfast?
And now that you bring that up, I'm very glad you said that. Could you let me know of any eating habits that have changed? You said you're not as hungry. You were very hungry in the second trimester, I recall.
Eating more in the second.
Okay.
And I could definitely tell like when I was growing more and things like that, and now I'm feeling like I'm running out of room. I don't have as much of an appetite, so things are kind of like sounding gross more often, I guess, just because I'm like not hungry all the time like I was before.
A few food aversions too. Awesome. So we can definitely try to accommodate that. And it's good to know that you're eating much less than you were in the second semester too, so that we know there's not any other issues we should tackle. I think that's very common. That's normal, and you're sharing that with your doctor as well, your appetite.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, we can begin with the first thing you had after midnight yesterday. So the first thing you had when you woke up yesterday morning.
I ate cereal for breakfast.
Okay.
And then did I eat snacks? Usually if I eat a snack, it'll be like a granola bar or something like that.
That's typically your normal routine.
Yeah.
Is it breakfast, a snack, and then lunch after that?
Yeah.
Okay. So yesterday you had cereal. Do you recall what brand?
The O's. Like, I think that's just what they're called.
Okay.
OH.
Okay.
And I have milk with it. So, and yeah, that was it for my breakfast. Then snack, like I said, granola bar.
Snack was a granola bar. And what type was that?
The Nature Valley.
Okay. All right.
And then lunch, I had a salad, and that, I don't know exactly what all, like, green things they put in there. I guess.
Where was your salad from?
Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was their market salad, and that has, like, some, like, strawberries and, like, apples in it.
Fruit and some nut. Did you put the nut packet in it as well? Okay.
Yeah. And then it has, like, the chicken, and then I use Italian dressing with it.
Okay. Great. And did you have a drink with that or with breakfast?
Breakfast, just water, and then lunch, I had lemonade from Chick-fil-A.
Regular or diet?
Regular.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. And what was the next thing you had to eat?
And then another snack, I ate, like, chips, I think, just before dinner. Getting hungry, so that was just, like, Ruffles.
Okay.
Normal chips.
And was that in a individual size bag or out of a large size?
It was out of a large size. I
Okay.
didn't, like, measure them out, which I should probably do.
We'll gather more information later, so just a rough list is totally
Okay.
fine for now.
Okay. And then for dinner, we had grilled chicken and broccoli. And yeah, and I just drank water.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Anything else you can recall?
Oh, well, after dinner.
Yes.
I had probably like a few chocolate chip cookies.
All right. Were they homemade or was it a brand?
No, just Chips Ahoy out of the package.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sounds good. So I'm going to go back and grab some times, a little more detail about each food item. So you said you had cereal in the morning. Around what time was that you wake up?
Like 8.
8 a.m. And you said these were the O's cereal. Do you add any fruit, sugar, any kind of toppings in your cereal?
Mm-hmm.
Just milk?
Just the cereal, yeah.
Okay. And what kind of milk do you use?
1%.
1%. All right. And if you could use this as a measuring to say about how much you put into your cereal.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cup right there. So if you think you had more than a cup, less than a cup.
Is this the cereal? Or
For the
milk?
cereal.
Okay.
Yes, sorry. And we can also use our fist as about a rough reference for a cup, too.
Okay. I mean, probably like 2 cups.
You think 2 cups?
I would think would fill up like my normal sized bowl I use.
All right. And what about the milk?
Probably, I don't use that much milk.
You're welcome to pick it up and
probably like around like the 2/3.
2/3 cup. And you ate 100% of that?
Yes.
All right. So breakfast is at 8 a.m. Around what time did you grab for the granola bar? Do you recall?
Probably like 11.
11 a.m. you had the Nature Valley granola bar and some water.
Yes.
Okay, and do you drink your water out of a plastic bottle or do you have a water bottle that you fill up continuously?
No, I just use a cup at home.
Okay.
Just a normal.
Cool. Do you drink water consistently throughout the day or do you remember the amount of times that you...
I pretty
fill up
much just always have it
a cup
just
around?
sitting there, yeah.
Okay.
I haven't really been tracking
The
how
water.
much of that I'm
Alright.
drinking because I usually just always like have my cups in
Yeah.
Um,
It's definitely hard to remember because if you're drinking
Yeah.
water throughout the day, measuring that can be
Mhm.
difficult. If you could recall about how many cups you had in the morning,
Probably
If
like
not.
2.
about 2 cups.
Yeah, like
Up to
by
you.
the time, well, until like I had the snack, I would say.
Okay.
Probably
2 cups up until the snack at 11.
Yeah.
Great. And then what time did you go to Chick-fil-A for the salad?
That's a 2.
2 p.m. Okay. And did you eat the entire salad in the container?
For the most part, yeah, I would say.
Was there anything specific that you left out? Any chicken, nuts, fruit?
The one pack I don't put in there, the thing they give you, it's like the granola and stuff. I don't put
Okay.
that, but like the nuts I put in there and like everything else.
Okay.
Oh, and there's like blue cheese in there, and I usually try to take that out. For the
Okay,
most
great.
part.
Yes, that was my next
Um,
question.
Because well, with like being pregnant, you're not supposed to eat like, I guess, non-pasteurized things, which I'm sure like Chick-fil-A is pasteurized, but like the soft cheeses I've read can be like more, I don't know, like dangerous as far as like if they're storing it right.
Sure.
Like temperature wise. So I usually just try to like pick that out for the most part.
Okay.
Just to be on the safe side, and I'm not a huge fan of it anyway. So.
Okay. Definitely. Now, there is a good amount of research on different pasteurized foods in pregnancy. As far as what the USDA recommends for pregnant parents, it would be, as we discussed, your first visit to be consuming a small amount of low-fat dairy. So if that's something that doesn't make you feel good or you're not very interested in eating it, that's completely fine. We just want to make sure that you're getting protein, calcium, vitamin D, other areas. For strong bones and for the development for the baby. All of those words sound familiar to you?
Yeah.
The calcium and the vitamin D that we discussed? Okay, cool. So that's totally fine if you're removing the blue cheese as well. So anything else that you left out of that salad?
Okay.
Yeah,
that's it.
Okay, and so you had the regular lemonade as well, and you drank what size of that?
It was a medium, so I don't know like how many ounces that is in there.
Medium.
Cups, probably like 20 ounces, I guess.
Perfect. And did you have all of the lemonade as well?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you grabbed for some chips before dinner. Around what time were you snacking on chips?
That was probably like 5.
Okay. Around 5 p.m. And you can use your fist again, or if you recall about the amount of chips. I know it's kind of hard to estimate whenever you're just mindlessly eating, but...
Probably like a cup and a half.
Okay. 1 cup and a half. And any drinks with snacking before dinner?
Just water.
Okay.
It's pretty much like all, unless I go somewhere like Chick-fil-A or like that, I usually just drink water throughout the day.
Okay.
So,
All right. So maybe another, you say a few cups of water, another cup.
yeah, maybe like, I don't know, probably 1. I need to be better about drinking water for sure.
If you have water consistently by you, I think that's a great habit. Generally, it jogs our memory if we've got a cup sitting in front of us that we're ready to drink out of. So tracking, it is for sure something that you could add into your tracker, though. There's a space in MyFitnessPal where you can add that as well. And so about another cup of water with the chips. And then you had dinner around what time?
I think like 7:30.
Okay. 7:30 dinner. Were you the one that prepared it, or it was prepared by someone else in your family?
Somebody else.
Okay. So are you aware of any of the cooking methods of the chicken, the broccoli?
The chicken was in like a steamer with like the broccoli. So I think there was like some kind of like soy sauce or something like that added in it.
Okay. I believe soy sauce was in it. Any other seasonings or cheeses that you could tell would be on top of everything?
No cheeses or anything like
Okay.
that. I don't think there was any like salt or anything like that added there.
Okay. As far as you know, just some sort of soy sauce or ginger sauce. Okay. And was the chicken, so you said it was steamed, was the skin on?
No.
Okay,
No,
skinless.
Yeah.
Skinless. And about what portion would you eat? To measure protein, generally we use ounces. So 1 serving of protein would be 3 ounces, or the size of like a deck of cards, or something that could fit in the palm of our hand.
Okay. Probably. So like this whole thing is like.
Yeah, just like if you picture a deck of cards in your hands, or just something thin that could sit right here.
Probably maybe like 1 of this amount and like a half maybe for
Okay.
the chicken. I don't know.
Yeah.
Usually I don't eat as much like chicken. I'll have more of like the vegetables or
Great.
that.
Yeah. So probably more than 3 ounces. We're thinking between 4 or 5 ounces
maybe,
of chicken.
yeah, something like
4 to 5 ounces. And with your broccoli, so that was steamed as well,
Mhm.
with the same kind of sauce over it.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
That was all kind of just mixed.
Okay. And how much broccoli do you typically eat? We can use
looking
our
at
cups again.
Cups. It was probably between half a cup and a cup.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. That was something I was going to ask about, like steaming it. Is that like not as good as if I were to just like eat it raw or something?
Yeah, so currently the USDA recommendations are that fresh, frozen, steamed preparation, anything works. The recommended serving size for fruits and vegetables is going to be from 3 to 5 cups a day. Now, what the recommendation is the more the better. So not necessarily hitting that 5 cups each day, but the more you eat, the more benefits you could get from that. Okay. So, and there's no recommendation as far as steamed, fresh, frozen. Generally, what we want to watch are the sauces and the cheeses that we put on it, but that's with anything else in our diet. Typically hidden in those sauces are going to be the added sugars that we talked about, so that's going to increase the carbohydrates that you see on your tracking app, as well as sodium and just increasing salt. So generally we want to keep vegetables as pure as possible, a little bit of seasoning, trying to stick to things that are no sugar added, low sodium, sauces like that. But as far as the preparation method, I think that frozen or steamed would be entirely fine. Whatever's easiest for you to prepare, easiest, something that you still enjoy too, because you said you're having a few aversions as well. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But the steamed preparation isn't something that you're not wanting to eat any longer?
No, that's like something that I've always liked, so that's like fine. I just didn't know if it, like the way I cooked it, would like take out some of the nutrients or something like that, so
the recommendations wouldn't necessarily change. As long as you're getting those fruits and vegetables, we're happy with that. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so then you had some water with dinner as well. Great. Any estimation for the cup sizes?
Probably a cup like at dinner, and then another cup like before bed.
All right. And that was before bed. Great, so you're getting a good bit of water in throughout the day, and a few chocolate chip cookies. Any estimation to the amount?
Probably like 3
cookies. Great, and were these chewy, crunchy, peanut butter chips added?
Just like the standard crunchy ones.
Okay. Yeah. Did you have any milk, soda, anything at night? Okay. Fantastic. So I'm going to go back through in these little gaps and make sure we haven't forgotten anything. If so, stop me, and if not, we'll move on with the session, okay? So you woke up at 8 a.m. You did not have any juice, coffee, treats in the morning, nothing but the cereal and the milk and some water. Okay, and then we had a snack, a granola bar at 11 a.m., nothing again until 2, where you had the Chick-fil-A market salad. You took out the blue cheese and the granola just because of your concern with the health and the safety of it, as well as the preferences. You added the Italian dressing. Did you use the entire pack?
Yes.
Yes, and then you had a regular lemonade. All right? And you didn't eat the entire salad. You left about how much of the salad in there?
I'd say I ate like 3/4 of it.
3/4. And then you had a few handfuls of the ruffled chips around 5 p.m., some more water, and for dinner you had the grilled chicken that was steamed, about a cup or cup and a half of vegetables, and a cup of water before bed. You also had some chocolate chip cookies before you fell asleep, correct? Okay, any beverages that we've forgotten? Any milk, tea, soda throughout the day?
No, I think we got it all.
Okay, great. And then as far as extra breads or fruits or vegetables, anything that you recall, any other snacks like pretzels, chips?
No.
Okay. Great. All right, so we will work with this as we are, and as well as your app that you're tracking with, to plan the rest of our goals for this session. So based on the information I gave you about My Plate from the first time, how well do you feel like you have been accomplishing the things that we talked about?
I mean, I think I'm just kind of getting used to like seeing all like the different portions and stuff. I mean, I think I'm doing pretty well, but I could definitely, like, I'm not